thanks for watching and joining us. So this is another one of our clips introducing you to our committee members of 2020. So this time we have our female and male club captains for the year and our secretary, Nikki. So we'll be introducing themselves and telling you a bit about their roles within the club, what their aims and goals are for next year, and why they joined TRISudbury.
Yeah. And I get to start first, so I get to introduce Chris. So, Chris, what is your role?
Hi, I'm the male club captain.
Okay. And what does that mean? What does that look like?
I don't think there's any defined role for a captain. It's what you make it. Certainly with COVID, it's been a completely different scenario. So we've really had to make it up as we go along, to be honest.
Yeah. I know from somebody who joined the club that having a captain there was just somebody that spoke to you, welcomed you into the club. Yeah, I think they're a brilliant role.
Yeah, I think we're there to encourage, cajole, hopefully inspire.
Yeah.
We're there if we're needed to provide information, to highlight events, to help newcomers find the right events for them.
Yeah.
You know, you might get a member that doesn't swim very well, so we push them in the direction of a duathlon.
Yeah.
We suggest the right events for them to do first. I think we're just there to be there if we're needed.
Yeah. And having been new to the club, I can definitely say that's what I have seen for sure. So why did you join TRISudbury, Chris?
Well, I started just riding a bicycle to get fit. And then unfortunately, I bumped into Sean Baldock, who is a very inspiring character, as most people know. And he more or less railroaded me into the club. He told me how fantastic it was, how supportive it was, how I needed to do a triathlon, and he literally dragged me kicking and screaming. But once I joined, it was just amazing how I found it. Everybody was just brilliant.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're on the start line of your first triathlon and wonder how the hell that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that. And so what have you got planned for next year? What sort of events are you going to do?
I've got one of everything. I'm doing a duathlon, a super sprint, a sprint, an Olympic, and 2 middle distance events. Okay. My main aim is to go sub 6 hours for a middle distance, which is a half Ironman, and I'll be doing Outlaw Holcomb and Outlaw X. Attempting to do that. That's 6 hours.
Yeah, unfinished business, I think, is the term for those two, isn't it?
Very much so. I only just missed it last time, so I'm out in the garage every night on the turbo, building up the leg muscles, trying to go faster on the bike, and we'll see what happens.
Brilliant. Thank you, Chris.
Awesome.
No problem.
Thanks, Chris. So, Nikki, you're our club secretary and basically keep everyone in check. Tell us a bit more about your role and what do you enjoy about it most?
So, yes, as you said, club secretary. I've been doing it. This is my 3rd year. What do I enjoy about it most? I enjoy sort of having a finger in every pie, really, and being aware of what's going on. I have to be very responsible and do the minutes and keep our chairman on track when he changes the agenda at the last minute and all that kind of good stuff.
Can imagine.
Yeah, I also have responsibility for our relationship with England Athletics and Swim England, which as a club we're affiliated through. So I manage the membership process on an annual basis and an ongoing basis, really, with those clubs as well. And I also support the membership secretary with the management of our club system and what have you. So, and I'm just around for any general questions, really, and I just tell people who they should go and speak to, and I don't have the answer. It's good. It's good fun. It's fun being involved with all different aspects. What is it they say? It's kind of jack of all trades, master of none.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Or just master of the universe or master of TRISudbury, depending.
It's all about perception, right?
So what made you join TRISudbury?
A bit like Chris, really. I got cajoled into doing the swim leg of the first, I think, TRISudbury triathlon as part of a relay, having been a very keen swimmer in my youth, and have always done a bit of running as well. And while at the event, everyone said, "Oh, you're quite a good swimmer. Oh, you can run. Oh, why don't you join?" And I said, no, I'm past all that. And actually about a week later, I came along for a couple of trial sessions, and absolutely just fell in love with the whole ethos of training again after many years out of it. The swimming was what drew me in. I didn't even have a bike. Yeah, so that was the start of it, really. So I was 4 years in the making, and I've enjoyed every minute.
Awesome. And obviously this year hasn't quite gone to plan in terms of not having any events, but what are your goals and aims for next year? What event are you planning?
Well, I'm hoping 2021 is going to be a replay of what should have happened in 2020, because in 2020 I turned 50 and therefore had big aspirations for actually getting to that half Ironman distance, as the culmination of a year of events. Like everyone, it was kind of scuppered. So I have an Olympic distance and the Holcombe Outlaw in the diary, which are my two key things I have to do next year, because I think if I don't do them next year, I probably never will. So yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome.
Thank you. Lisa, Chris has already detailed quite a lot already about the role. Anything to add as the club captain?
Oh, as the ladies captain. So I suppose we're there as the go-to for anything that's not specific coach-wise or other committee member-wise. We're there kind of, I suppose, as ambassadors for the club for people. Big role in supporting people at events, but obviously this year has kind of put the dampeners on things a wee bit for us that way. We usually like to try and bring some noise in support-wise. And I think also as adult captains, we're there to kind of support the junior captains as well, maybe as they need it.
Yeah.
From a Chris point of view, so Chris is very much the one that does a lot on Facebook for the club. He puts together a fantastic weekly Sunday kind of summing up captain's log, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't, because he's much better at that than I do. I tend to be the quieter one in the background, to be honest, from that side of things. I don't put quite so much on the Facebook page and things, but I bring a lot of noise to the live events. So that's kind of where we fit together quite nicely. He's the tall one, I'm the short one.
But having been in the club for a little while, I think that is one of the things that I've loved, to see the different sort of identities of people and bring themselves to the role, because every club captain I've seen has been very different, but they're bringing their own gifting and skills to it. So definitely see you two bringing your own individualness to it, which has been fantastic. So, but why did you join the club, Lisa? What made you start doing triathlons?
So I actually did my very first triathlon back in 2007. It was my first one. It was my only one. My husband was the route of that cause. Well, he wasn't my husband at the time. He was my significant other half.
Yep.
But he kind of decided he wanted to do one, and it had been on my bucket list for a long time, but I'd never really kind of got around to it. So we did our very first one together at the same time.
Yeah.
And then life got busy, work, children, all that sort of stuff. I continued to do a lot of running. I like running. And he got back more into kind of triathlon. Then he joined the club. He initially joined the club as part of some study he was undertaking. He was doing a course, and he was doing the triathlon coaching courses. Mm-hmm. And TRISudbury was recommended to him. So he was obviously quite heavily involved in the club. And I kind of sat on the peripheries. I wasn't a club member, but I came to some of the events. I came to the Christmas dinner. So I kind of always felt like I'd kind of been an unofficial club member.
Yeah.
And it had been on my to join list, but it was like a couple more years down the line. And And then when I did join, so I haven't been a member for that long, I kind of just got grabbed into it. It was kind of like, well, you're pretty much a member anyway, just get on with it.
Yep.
And so I've joined and never looked back. It is like another family. It's a very different club to any other club. So I do hockey outside of Sudbury, Triathlons. So, and I've been team captains, I've been committee members, and I've never come across a club that works in the same way that we do. There's not another club I've been involved with, and I've been involved with some small clubs.
Yeah.
And that same family, kind of all inclusive. It doesn't matter whether you're a club member or not. We welcome all family members. We talk to everybody. We support everybody. And that's what I really like about this club. I think it's one of our biggest bonuses and selling points. And I don't think I'd have kind of been such a member if that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what dragged me in. To be honest, I was kind of halfway there, and then like everybody else, you kind of get a final come on, and kind of get dragged into it. So pretty much like, well, you're already involved, so just join.
just make it official. Just sign on the line. And you've managed to do some triathlons this year. I've seen photos. I know you've been at certain events. What's the plan for next year?
So I've had a few deferral events to next year. So next year's a mishmash of events for me. So I've got I'm doing the Rat Race 20-mile obstacle course race.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
With a little team from the club.
Yeah.
I've got a half or a middle distance to do sometime round about April, May. I haven't booked that in yet. I've got to find a suitable one. July, I have inadvertently from last year got myself the Nottingham Outlaw Full Ironman distance to do. So that's my big training for this year, my big endurance event. I'm doing Holcombe. I'm part of a relay team. Holcombe was too close for me to do the full event this year. It'd been on last year's plan. But I've got myself on part of the relay. I'm doing the swim legs, so that's great. I'm still involved, which is fantastic because I was a bit gutted that it was too close next year.
Yeah.
Then I've got a marathon to run next year as well. That was rolled over from this year under COVID. And Albury Relay. So that's another charity relay event. Again, I'm doing the swim leg on that one. So not quite so many booked in. I'm pretty sure if we've got running events, I'll chuck a few running events in, and if we've got some cycling sportives, there'll probably be one or two of those thrown in for good measure. But they're my main events for next year.
Yeah, seemed like quite a lot.
Endurance next year.
Yeah, definitely see that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, thank you, everyone. And that's really, really good. So we'll have a slide up at the end for contact details and how to get in touch with our captains and our secretary. So just drop anyone a line, and obviously go on the Facebook page so you'll be able to see everybody as well. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.